get to it as we do, man. This is one of the ones. Your boy wanted to get that off his chest this morning, so I wanted to let you guys know. First and foremost, welcome to the Black Cat Panther podcast. You already see the title. You already see how we coming today. As we approach game day on Monday Night Football, I just wanted to make sure that we put a special emphasis on should the Carolina Panthers trade for T Higgins. Make no mistake about it, he's been linked. There are multiple rumors going around. There are multiple chatter in the building about helping Bryce Young out. We all seen our young quarterback, our young rookie, our young fella come to the front of the congregation last week, and he gave us 2 picks. Most of the picks came because there wasn't enough separation. There was not enough of receivers getting wide open. Should the Carolina Panthers go out and get a T Higgins that can open up the playing field? Not only can he open up the playing field, he can get Thielen open. His presence being here gets Mingo open. His presence here makes Terrence Marshall Jr. look better. His presence makes the run game look a little bit better. Should the Carolina Panthers go out and get a T Higgins? Now, I know you're saying the Bengals don't want him, Q. The Bengals don't want to sign him, Q. Why should we go out and get a guy that they're not interested in? I'll tell you why. Since coming into the league in 2020, he's had 908 yards in his rookie campaign, 6 touchdowns. He followed that up the following season with 1,091 yards, 6 touchdowns again. Now, he followed that up. If you think he couldn't do it again, he did it again. The third year, last year, 1,029 yards, 7 touchdowns, all averaging 14 yards per catch. You know what I'm saying? What you got to look at is how explosive can a guy like this make us? How explosive a guy like this right here can make our offense look. How much attention that this guy will capture for a Bryce Young. How much attention that he will release off of a Thielen. Now, you want a guy that could undoubtedly go out and beat a cornerback every single game. You have your guy here in Higgins. Should the Carolina Panthers put together a package to try and get him? Because what you're looking at is potentially, okay, now don't shoot the messenger. We're going to put together 2 trade package scenarios, one with Burns here and one without Burns here. Now, before I do anything, let me shout y'all out in the chat before I get started into the trade scenarios. Donald Vaughn, what it do, Bubba? Eric Sr., what's happening? Anthony Brown, good morning, Panther Nation, what it do? Chief, look, Chief, you right, we should. You right. Omar Kumar, he says with rough draft picks. Brother, don't worry, we're going to get to it. Elizabeth Lassiter say, what's good? If we do trade, what could we trade the pack? What would the trade package look like? Oh, we're going to get into it. JSU say no, off the back. Ain't happening. Grim Reaper said, got a bad feeling Burns will go. Eric Senior said, nah, you said the most picks was because no receivers getting space. Eric Senior, I get all that. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for pulling up. So let's put together a trade package with Brian Burns first. If you send in a Burns, because let's make no mistake about it, if the intention was to sign Brian Burns, it'd have been done already. If the intention was, I want to make sure that I can compete at the highest levels and get out here and make sure my franchise can get this thing done, they'd have signed Burns already. So if you have to package a Burns potentially, that's like getting two number one overall picks. T Higgins, they're gonna have to send another first round pick with that, Bubba. They're gonna have to send another first round pick and potentially a second or a third round pick to come over here. Cincinnati can do it. They got it. They got the picks. So if they send it, we get them Burns in this trade scenario. Give them Burns. We get T Higgins. We get a first round pick and a potential second or either a third round. That is a viable option that is realistic, actually, because then you get this guy, then you have to sign him to the money that you would have potentially paid Burns, and you were able to go back in the draft and get young talent in his spot, in Burns' spot. So, I mean, that's trade scenario number one. That's nice if this was what Carolina would do. Now, trade option number two, you keep Burns here, and you potentially make a pass at T Higgins with a future first rounder. And to be honest with you, Scott Fitterer, this one will have me looking at Scott Fitterer with the side eye because we don't have a first round next year. So you would have to dig into the future later on down the line to try to make this happen. And you got to also understand that if that happens, potentially you cripple yourself if this doesn't work out because you're keeping Burns. You got Bryce, you got your weapon in T Higgins, but you also you gotta look at it. What you're gonna have to give up to get a Higgins. Higgins is gonna go probably for a first round pick from us and maybe a second or a third in those other rounds. You can switch backward and forth with whatever season you want to give up that second or a third from, but you're gonna eventually have to give up a first to get Higgins. So you're talking about the Carolina Panthers who are already in a inopportune position already where we don't have per se the landscape to pull that part off without giving up a Burns who has high value. The chances of that trade happening is slim to none. The more likely option is the first scenario. But as I just opened that up and laid it down to the ground, this is one of the ones where I say, look, once again, if you just coming in, like the video, subscribe. I'm going to get the fellas' input on what we should do. Should we trade for Higgins? Should we look at scenario one? Is scenario two more? I know we don't have the draft picks to pull off scenario two, but what should we do? Fellas, what's going on?
What's good? What's good?
What's happening?
Yes,
What's
sir.
happening?
All right, all right.
That was so eloquently put with the fire and the passion and the way you ran the numbers and everything like that. I know that you took your time, you did your research. But let me tell you something. I'm getting ready to chop this shit down like George Washington chopped the cherry tree. I'm going to tell you this right here, buddy. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Y'all can tell you, all of y'all, everybody in here, everybody in the chat, everybody that will listen and hear this video and watch this video, it ain't going to happen. Because one thing, these motherfuckers don't want to pay Brian Burns. Homegrown talent out the draft that's done worked itself up and become one of the top edge rushers in this league. They don't want to pay him because we're working through a botched rebuild. Y'all want to build a team that one damn thing. They restructure, rebuild, retool. We're not restructuring, retooling, renovating, or whatever. We're rebuilding because the other rebuild with the motherfucker in Nebraska was botched. So we got to tear all that down. We don't need to go get T Higgins, who probably don't want to play with a rookie quarterback. He done that. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. T Higgins want to play for jury. Rings, y'all. Championships. He wants a big contract. We don't want to give it to him. We don't want to pay nobody. You build this team through the draft, period. It's going to take a while, people. It's going to be bumps and bruises and slow singing, flower bringing until we get this thing done. Be patient. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get to Pop, my man DT will say we can't keep giving away our future. Seemingly,
Thank
best
you.
teams always hit the draft. We keep giving away picks every year. Federer on the hot seat. Ooh, Scott Fitterer. All right, Poppin,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
You know, I get everybody don't want to give up draft picks, but you got to understand, Scott Fritter is a creature of habit. That's what he does. That's your GM. So, in my mind, I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to get rid
Pop,
of
but
Burns.
stupid is and stupid does. Let them keep being stupid.
Well, that don't make it stupid if they want to go in all offensively to try to help their rookie.
That's what
I
I was trying
mean,
to get to.
go ahead, Pop.
Uh, he's a creature of habit, man. He played, like I told y'all, he played with these picks like he played with like the lottery. That's how he do with his chips. The man is gonna be in on every deal. I think the reason why this deal is not done because of the years. I really do. I think it's the year problem. Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 30? Is it 28? Brian Burns want 30. They don't want to pay him 30. I think they're good at 27. But hey, I don't think you're gonna pay T Higgins $30 million a year. I think he's somewhere about 25, 22, somewhere around there. And that's right up their alley. So yeah, come on down, T Higgins. I'll take you because at least I can say that I have a number one wide receiver. I don't have the number one pass rusher on my team.
Yeah, I agree with you 1000%, Pop.
So,
If you're
so
going to make a move like this, bro, you look, think about it. The Panthers don't want to pay $30 million to Brian Burns. The most they're willing to pay is 23 million. They already got that money allocated to go with Brian Burns. So if not, why not swap it? Get your receiver, get your help for your for your quarterback. That way, offensively, we can go and start putting some points up on the board. Then you're looking around like, okay, we just improved vastly. Now we have a guy that's going to open up this whole playing field for everybody else. That's the way that the Panthers should look at it. Will they look at it that way? I hope they do. But you got to also
we're
understand,
wide
go.
receiver away. We're wide receiver away. That's what y'all telling
No,
me.
not
We're
that's not
wide
what
receiver
that's not
away.
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So as the team is currently constructed, they have to get offense from somewhere, right? Go.
Yeah. But they're
Okay,
not looking to do that. What they're
but
looking to
go.
do, the best thing for Carolina to do is tear this motherfucker down. J.C.
But
Horn
go.
done got hurt, so you probably not gonna extend them. So
Go.
what I'm
This Carolina we talking about. They don't believe that they're the problem is when we entered this draft, they thought that they were just a quarterback away. So instead of tearing down the whole goddamn team, I fully expect Carolina to take their time and say, okay, why don't we swap this piece out? Because we can go back in the draft and get another edge rusher to give us production.
Q,
Mm-hmm.
we
That's the
got
way
two
they
problems
looking
with
at it.
that. Q.
Go, but hold on. You got to
Argue this.
you're looking at it from look at it from this perspective.
Listen,
They getting a first round pick back from this cat and more.
Q. Did you just hear what Dan Morgan said? We got trouble in the valley. Do you understand? Did y'all just hear what Dan Morgan said? Obviously, y'all didn't see what Dan Morgan said. Well, that happens when you get people out of free agency that's already hurt. So they distinctions in the ranks already. You understand what I'm saying? Dan Morgan just threw a shot. He threw a shot across the bow at Federer, I don't know, at Tep, somebody. That's our director of scouting
So doesn't
said
that
that.
make? But that shit, he ain't doing it but calling the kettle black. He part of that too. He
Well,
sat up
no,
there
well,
and,
he
and
probably told him
agreed.
though, Pop. He probably
maybe,
told them, "Yo, let's
maybe.
don't do that." And then they probably said, "Fuck him." It ain't like didn't they say fuck Luke when Luke was coming back telling them who to pick?
But hey,
That's why
listen,
Luke said, "Fuck it, I'm going fishing." Luke
I
said, "Fuck it, I'm going fishing."
yeah.
Go.
I mean, I get that,
Calm
and then,
down, go.
but at the
It
same
ain't no
time,
calm down.
we, but not only that though, go. This is the rumor mill ain't just happened just because it's just no. There's some talk going on. We have ties
Yeah.
with this guy, so that means that there's something going on. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say the Jets. They didn't say the Cowboys. They didn't say whoever Jaguars. They said Carolina Panthers, and
Pop,
that's the point.
every time you have a player that has some type of ties to the Carolinas,
Like
we
you
gonna
said,
end up getting them
you can
and this
also
and
get these
that.
pieces. You can get you like you said, like you said. You can also go in this draft because if they give you a first and a second, you can go back at your edge, your coveted 39. You know what I'm saying? You can get your corner.
Read
And
that
then
back up.
you got 2/3 now. You go get your linebacker. You back in the game now. You back
Mm-hmm.
in it. You all the way back in the game. Other than now, okay, yeah, you don't have Brian Burns, but like I said, you're getting a number one for another number one who's not the number one.
Mhm.
Just saying, I like it. I'm cool with
I
it. That's the
I
only
mean,
way
think about
fit
it.
back. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, Pop, think about this right here. Let me talk to you for a minute because Gold ain't trying to hit. So
Not really. Not really.
I'm looking at it from a perspective of how the Panthers may attack this. Like I said, it's not the smartest thing to do, but when you're looking at the way that they operate, and this is how I'm starting to understand how sideways we operate shit. But this is the thinking that they would come through. If we can go out and outscore or put points up on the board, to them that's more valuable right now than per se paying the Burns. Uh, Now, be mindful, he was a monster, and I get it. But what they're looking at is okay, we could re up and we could try to hit in the draft to get what we need and get a younger, cheaper version of the Burns. That's what, because they already got DJ. DJ is in his first year. They're going to put him out there probably next year and really see, okay, what do we have in DJ? They go and they get somebody out in the draft. Now you got a young nucleus on this line that you could potentially jump behind in year two of Bryce Young being here. So they want to get younger and not have to pay all this money. I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking at. And if they decide to
Q
pay a T Higgins, I'm not mad.
Q. They
Hmm?
trying to be a high power offense.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to be a high power, but the problem is we got hurt, handicapped ass players. That's really what they
Mm-hmm.
try to do. They try to have your speedster, your slot guy, your possession guy, two good running backs that can catch out the backfield or run up in the middle. That's what they try to do. And a quarterback who can deliver the ball and make good decisions. That's what they. But you can't do it with certain players that stay hurt, whether it's offense or defense.
Well,
Yes,
see
sir.
That's what they're trying to do with offense.
yeah, and then what they try to do, Pop, you can see it. They try to go on the low and slide us through this rebuild without it hurting so much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been so long and it's been botched so many times. So they got these guys, and just all of a sudden, all of them got hurt at one time, y'all. That's what happened. And then we went into the Atlanta game like, damn, you know, a knife to a gunfight, and we damn near won it and that's only because Atlanta is so sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's only attributed to Atlanta ain't shit. So
Yeah, I mean,
therefore,
mm-hmm.
we now when we come back healthy at the I don't know when these guys start to cycle back in, you know what I'm saying, with the health issues and stuff like that, you will see us pick up a win here, a win there. But it's got to be built through the draft, y'all. T Higgins ain't gonna solve, you know what I'm saying, something that's gonna take time because he can,
So,
because see
so
they could go a bunch of different ways with the contract. Just the contract issue, just
but
the
go.
contract issue.
You got to look at how they looking at it. Let's get a known product to pair with our quarterback that you can help, that can help our quarterback. T
Well,
Higgins not old, bro.
He
T
got to
Higgins
want
is
to be here though, too, Q, and plus, like
that
Bryce
nigga
has
want
to,
his money.
Bryce
Go.
has to
He's
help us. They
go,
don't want
go,
to pay
go,
Burns though, Q. So they
go.
don't. I mean, they're not
Hold
trying to
on,
pay
go.
nobody yet.
You can't hear nobody when you hollering.
Go.
Go.
I gotta
That's
check your
He's
obvious.
he's
go.
he's
You
24
said
years
earlier.
old.
Yep. Earlier you said that first check is the one that matters. He's not looking for rings right now. He's looking for
He want his money.
that
But they,
generational.
yeah,
Hold
If the
on, go.
Panthers
That
get that nigga
generational.
22 mil, he'll be right there.
He
but
want
what make y'all think
generational
they want to
wealth.
pay a
Now
receiver to? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to pay an edge rusher. What make y'all think they want to pay a receiver
Look,
big money?
they got money. They got 23 million set out to pay a motherfucker. Now, if they'll rather take it on the chin and say, okay, well, at least we just gave away DJ Moore that was supposed to be the bona fide number one for our young quarterback. We
Bingo.
made the mistake of doing that. So why don't we re-up, get a guy that can come out here and beat cornerbacks one on one? Why not make sure we solidify that and get him in the door? He's 24 years old. You give him a 3-4 year contract, give him 19, 20 million a year, and
You
you
just answered.
good.
You just answered the question. They feel as though they can find what you can. You can find a wide receiver faster than you can find a fucking big man or anybody on the
Well,
defensive
go.
offensive line to spread the ball.
If that's the
Production wise.
case, then Jonathan Mingo should come out here and have 1,000 yards this year. If you can find receivers so easy.
and if that's the case, they would have signed Brian Burns already. If you can just find him, because
Yeah.
obviously that's how
But
they
what I'm
feel.
saying, for the skill, like I've been telling y'all, the skill set of your quarterback right now. You don't know what if your quarterback just needs a speedy guy, if your quarterback needs a route running technician. I think he needs a route running technician. That's why him and Thielen
Uh-uh.
have
Mm-mm.
such a rapport that they have. I
I
think
don't
because
think
he's an
that's not the
anticipation
case though,
forward.
Go.
What did Thielen
Because
do today?
Okay.
Think about it, Go. For a young
Thielen
guy,
just old. He ain't
hold
fast, but
on.
he's a route runner. I'm
Look,
trying to
look,
tell
look
you.
at Tua Tagovailoa. They gave that cat speed, and with anticipation, he hitting them boys on the mark because those
You
guys are
saying
beating
Bryce is
receivers
tour?
in front of
You
them.
saying Bryce is tour? You
I'm
saying Bryce is
saying the
tour got the same
smaller,
type of
I'm
skill
saying,
set?
I'm
Is that
saying
what you
this.
saying?
I'm saying smaller receivers, you have to give them speed so that way they can always beat the guy in front of them. That way, if 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 they get advantage, they will come out here and beat the man, and you won't have to worry about it. Go.
You seen your quarterback play one game. You don't know what he is.
I
Hey, real
know that
quick.
Speed gonna help
a
you.
short quarterback. They did it for Breeze. They did it for Russell Wilson. They had speed on the field for all those
But
guys.
y'all keep comparing him to Russell. You keep
We
comparing him to
compare
Breeze,
him
but
to
y'all don't
smaller
know.
quarterbacks, Colt. You have to
But
get
you don't
speed
know
on the
what he
field for
needs.
him.
You don't know what he needs.
Thank you, Pantherology. Somebody with some sense right here. Look,
T
T
Higgins go.
Higgins
Yep.
will help create separation for the other wideouts as well. So it's productivity having them go.
Why you think
Not only
Chase Young
yeah,
eat the way he eat? T Higgins getting double teamed, and
So
Chase
so
Young gets
so so
hold
so
on,
we'll
go.
be
He
we'll
that's why Chase Young. Look, I asked you this earlier. Give me a number one wide receiver who had a good number two, and what happened? You can go back to T.O. and Rice. Somebody gonna eat, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah. We'll be
so
Detroit
if
Lions.
you
We'll be
got
the
T
Detroit
Higgins,
Lions. We can't stop no damn body, but we make him
But
make
you
points
could
on the field.
fix that with the picks
Okay.
that you get in return. Go. You
Okay.
can fix that.
We gonna hit on the draft like they been hitting on the draft every year.
So we can't win with
What
nothing. We come out of your mouth.
30 something out of 7 out of 30 something. Yeah, we
just
can
get
go
rid
hit
of
in the
everybody.
draft.
Just get rid of
We done
If
everybody.
you
done that
listen to
before.
Go, just get
Yeah.
get rid of
Yeah.
everybody.
It
Yeah.
ain't
With
gonna.
this
Lord have
This
mercy.
ain't gonna be a
this
4 year. This gonna be a 10-year fix going goat way.
And
with
check
this
out
big guy.
Pantherology right here. He said even if you sign T Higgins, you'll still have enough money to sign Burns. So we wouldn't necessarily have to make that kind of trade to give
Yeah,
up Burns.
we got the money. We just don't know why these motherfuckers ain't did what they did yet. They can sign Burns.
I told
They
you
can restructure
it's
the
coming down
contract.
to the
But
years.
what we don't know. We don't know what the fuck going on with them pop.
Bro,
We
it's
got a
got to
bunch of
be the years,
speculation.
bro. It's got to be the
We got
years.
we even got fans that went to the game and David Tepper telling them, here, you talk to his agent and you get it done. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what the fuck is going on. Pretty much.
Hey Omar, we don't have a 50-50 ball getter.
Exactly. We
But
got
you
we
just, so
got a
you
bunch
tell
of.
me, so you tell me
Y'all hold
at a
on.
fit
Y'all
if
hold on tight. I'm gonna put
you
you on
telling
mute
me
for a second.
50-50
All right.
ball getter getting 1,000 yards every year off of just 50-50 balls. I'll take it if he gave me 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns a year.
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
than
but
but we had a number one who could only get you 4 touchdowns a year.
yeah, but Pop, T Higgins is more than a damn 50-50 ball getter. I done seen plenty of
I
plays where
know
he
that.
running route. This motherfucker here ain't looking at the damn game. I just saw this nigga catch a slant against the fucking Steelers and went right across the field. What the hell is this nigga talking about?
Now
Ah,
they trying to turn him to 50
I
50 50 boy, like slant boy. Okay, we'll call him 50-50 boy.
look. I pull the motherfucker up on the screen while I see him running slants and shit like that and post routes and all. So you can't say this nigga's a 50-50 type of guy. Come on, bro.
Yeah, the audacity, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if we go a GOAT way, it ain't a 4-year fix. This is a 10-year fix. We go GOAT way. He want everybody to go. Everybody got to go.
We got to have some kind of it. Look, if the game plan is not to sign Brian Burns back, then you got to put this. You got to put together something that's going to be a relatively. I'm not going to say a quick fix, but a relatively answer to what the problem is. The problem is you don't want to pay him 30 million. Fine, go out and get somebody that you'll pay 20 million to, 19 million to, 20 million. That's gonna look like chump change in a couple of years when you got this guy going out getting damn near 7 to 10 touchdowns and he giving you 12, 1,100 yards,
Mm-hmm.
1,300 yards. Come on, bro. What
Y'all
are we
go,
talking about?
y'all go look and see the free agent wide receivers that are coming out next year. Y'all go look. It ain't that. It ain't good. And T Higgins is at the top.
Man, look at
So
here, Pantherology, you right on it. He said next year we'll have top 10 cap space. Make sure if y'all haven't, go over to Pantherology. I was about to say .com. Pantherology on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Hey, that's our brother over there. We try to make sure we send the traffic over there as much. Show him that love too, just as much as y'all show us love, man.
that's
We
exactly right.
could.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. So we look at this more than just one way, y'all. We look at the future as well. The money that we're gonna have, people that's falling off the dead cap that we've been paying. Like I think there's 2 people that's falling off this year, which I believe will be uh Robbie Anderson and I think C-Mac come off this year. That's gonna release so much money for us to really go out here and put some things together. So I don't expect to see a DJ Chark here next year. I don't expect to see a JC Horn after this year. This year, this is 3rd year. Yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
3rd year. So he'll play next year. He'll still be here, but that's when you go in the draft and go get you somebody, or you go get you a corner that's a free agent. Now we ain't looked at free agents on corners, but when we do, we'll bring a video to y'all. But if T Higgins is sitting there, man, you got to go get him. Even if you can keep Brian Burns and T Higgins, that's fine. I'm cool with that too. That's even better. Mwah. Whatever. But we're not gonna be able to bring back those pieces in the pick because we're gonna give up draft picks. So we'd rather have to give up some type of commodity to get back more picks in the draft to go back and help your defense. Because now if you get that number one T Higgins, you're not gonna have that many problems on offense. You can go back and fix your defense, like Goat saying, we having problems stop the run. Okay, then we go get whoever we need in the 2nd and 3rd round to help stop the run. You go get your nose tackle with your 2nd round pick, like a Monty Smith. You know what I mean? Like, bro, there's so many ways to go about it. But if you one track minded, there's several ways to fix a puzzle. It don't matter if you start at what corner.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it.
It takes pieces, Bubba. Shout out to Eric Senior for this comment. He said, "What's up with that KC receiver we picked up? Ishmael Smith, Marset. That's Wiley's boy.
That's my boy
I
too.
don't. I was getting ready to shit on him.
No. Please sit on him because I'm gonna tell you why he's played. He's all right. Before Q got down crucified this dude. He's not a punt returner. He is a slot receiver. He has speed. He can run route. He's quick. He's probably the fastest person we got on the offense. and he get open. The problem is they got Blackshear. Instead of making Blackshear be the kick returner or the punt returner, they put Ishmael out there. He don't need to be out there on. He need to be. This is a guy that can get separation. He's fast, quick, and witty. They don't want to use him at wide receiver. So that's why you don't see him in wide receiver. I hope they figured it out this week. Put the man in and let him play. You know what I'm saying? Let Thielen rest a little bit and put him in the slot. Cause the man gonna eat.
You're right.
And
You're right.
he too have a Super Bowl ring. Just saying.
Well, I'm looking at them. They didn't know where to put this guy because let me tell you something. As a receiver, this guy had receiving stats from because when he first came in the league, he was with Minnesota. He had 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you think you can build upon that? Out of 8 games he played, that's the stats that he had. 5 receptions. 5 receptions, 116 yards is not bad. But he was battling injury. 2022 with Chicago, played 6 games. He gave you a grand total of 15 damn yards. Because why? Once again, battling injury. So then Kansas
Was it down with
City.
injury or was his quarterback running?
Well, he started off. Let me tell you something. He started off the year with Chicago, and then he ended up in KC. So that just you start off your career as a career journeyman. That's not good. That's not good
true.
that nobody can utilize your skill set no matter where you go. Because they got passing. Look, this cat been dropping back trying to make passes. They got him in kick returns. Look, they can't figure out where to put him. So that's bad when you got all this speed accordingly because he's a 6'1", 185-pound receiver that has what skill set? I mean,
But Q,
I don't see it.
Put him in the same position you gonna put Shaw Smith. He better than Shaw Smith.
But that's not saying a lot. Shaw Smith was mid at best.
I mean, he would look. He's been in the league for the last 3 years. Put him in the same position as Shaw Smith. At least you know he ain't going out here selling no drugs. And see what the boy got. You know what I'm saying? When you need a 3rd and 12, I don't need this. Well, Thielen can be a 3rd and 12 guy. He can. I'm not gonna say shit on Thielen. But when you need that separation, I believe he can do it. You know what I mean? I really do. He's just got to get the shot. And I don't think these quarterbacks were really looking for him. Even if he was hurting with some injuries, maybe he didn't have the right teaching to teach him how to keep his body healthy. But you know what? He was hurt too, right? And still played the game on Monday. I mean on Sunday. They say he had an ankle issue. Was he not back there catching kick returns? He sure was.
Yeah, but I mean that really Pop, don't make me. I don't want to do your man like this, man.
Go ahead, bro. He ain't proved nothing yet. This is all hopeful and wishful thinking.
We got rid of.
You can go ahead and say he ain't shit. I get it.
We got rid of one Smith that wasn't shit for another Smith that damn sure ain't shit, and you could clearly see it. 185 pounds. If you hit this motherfucker in pieces, he go. But the problem is it's not like he can be a route technician. It's not that. Not like he's a 50-50 ball getter. It's not that he can come out here and have sure hands and make catches and stuff like that. His number one job and task is just to have speed, but he don't know how to utilize his speed. So therefore, yes, we gave up a 7th-round pick for this cat, but he's about as useful as 𝐤 going out there trying to play wide receiver.
All right. Well, he ain't proved
exactly.
So you right. JC, where your light skin ass at? Over here in the chat. Talking about
If
he want 20, 23 million. Bring your ass, boy.
If he want 23 million, I want him.
You're gonna have to trade for him. There's no way around it.
He's not hitting more.
You're gonna have to trade for him. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to. There's no way around this shit.
He actually.
Well, I thought Smith Marseters was a speed guy. I thought he was a speed guy.
He is.
Yeah, but with speed. So what we're trying to say is Ted Ginn was a speed guy that had to learn how to catch. That had to learn how to catch. How the hell you a speed guy and you can't catch? You can't run routes. And goddamn it, as we look, you can't even be a kick or a punt returner good. Man, what's your value?
I love Ted Ginn, man. Y'all leave Ted Ginn alone. That was
no. I'm not talking about Ted Ginn. I'm talking about Ishmael Smith. What is his value if he can't do none of that?
Now let him play wide receiver, man.
Ted Ginn is my guy. Don't get me misconstrued at all. I like Ted Ginn. But yeah, shout out. He said, "Is he a free agent next year?" Yes, he's on his fourth year. He in his fourth year right now. So they got to.
But they could tag him. They could tag him.
What's what was he a uh was he a first round pick?
Yes.
I think so, right? So he
Yes.
got his fifth year option.
Yeah. They could
Man,
tag him.
this dude, man, like, yeah, I mean, you could get speed guys, and you can get, some guys that look at all the receivers that we already said been doing good already, that went um third round, late second round, stuff like that in the draft. We were talking about Hyatt and Josh Downs and all these other guys.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think y'all overreacting right now. You know what I'm saying? I think
Oh,
y'all overreacting. I
oh,
think y'all
because
need to calm down just a little bit.
Okay.
Y'all trying to do a little too much. The Panthers are they already know they have to fix a lot of stuff, so they're not trying. uh, They're I don't want to say they're not trying to win, or they
That's what you're
understand
saying.
that it's
That's what you're
well,
saying.
I'm trying to put it just as nice as I can. They understand that they're not competitive right now. How about that? Does that sound a little softer? Because see, it seems like I got to be soft with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I got to
my
talk in this
God. I'm
monotone.
not gonna let
I
you
got to.
ruin Monday night football for me, go. I'm expecting a goddamn win, and I don't want to hear that we not trying to compete shit.
Well, let me tell you something, Q. It's already been ruined. You understand what I'm saying? It was ruined when like I said, we got all these guys that's on IR in the pup list right now. The pup list is full. IR is full. I mean, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Go, go, go. I'm here to win games in the midst of us trying to turn this thing around. Now, the best way to do it, like how we saying, we try to figure out a solution to the Panthers' problem right now. The
Mm-hmm.
It's not us. The media has it out there that T Higgins is being sought after by the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, he's a huge destination for us. So if this was to happen, what are we trying to do? We're trying to put it in a full perspective. Go. That's all.
Room,
That's all.
room, room. And like I said, every time somebody that's went to a North Carolina school, a Clemson, North Carolina State, this one, whatever, uh, A&T, Appalachia, whatever. Yeah. Oh, he lives in North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere close. Oh yeah, he'll give us a hometown discount. He'll do this for us. He'll do that for us. He ain't gonna do shit for us.
Mm,
Last time I told y'all, name a big time free agent that just said, "Oh, I want to be in Carolina." Huh? I'll wait.
mm,
I will wait.
mm,
And name the last motherfucker that we paid other than Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton an ass load of money to do anything.
mm, yeah, well,
I'll wait.
yeah,
I'll wait.
yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
all I'm
yeah.
saying.
I can't say nothing to that, go. I get it. I get it. I get it, Bubba. But you
It's just
gotta.
stuff they don't do, man. It's just stuff,
So
even
go.
with the previous
So
regime and this one.
you don't believe we gonna be shit right now, and you don't believe that we can fix the shit. Is what I'm
Not
saying.
saying not saying we ain't gonna be shit. What it was like the injury bug, man. The injury bug killed us right now. We could have been competitive, but we weren't getting ready to knock down no doors with no rookie with all these rookies and
How you know
undrafted
that,
free
go?
agents and other talent. You know what I'm
How do
saying?
you know that? How do you know that,
Because
go?
already look at the growing pains y'all already seen. Y'all
I
can't
looked
sit
at
there
the
and tell
game
me
Sunday, go. Them boys was competing. If you didn't have a rookie quarterback throw away two interceptions on the
that's what I'm
same play,
saying.
we could have
That's what
won
I'm saying.
that game.
Last 3 years, Q. That's why our defense have led the charge. For the last 3 years, our defense has led the charge. Correct. So
Yeah, you
therefore,
correct.
and the reason why they can't get over the hump because we didn't have enough offense to help them lead the charge. But y'all telling me just go one wide receiver ain't gonna do it though. You understand what I'm saying? We have guard issues. We're gonna have right guard issues to Austin Corbett come back. And don't think he just gonna boom. He just get
No.
retired from
No.
ACC.
I don't want to hear you say a fucking thing about Austin Corbett after you talk about trading that motherfucker all year. So I don't want to hear. No.
You still
You
taking that
said you wanted to get rid of him.
you still taking that out of text. What I said, I
I take
said
everything you say out of
Mays.
context.
You taking it out of context because I
Here we go.
said if
Here we go.
Mays does anywhere near anything that we need, which he didn't because he got hurt. His neck got
Well,
hurt.
you had
He
he
didn't
come
play
out
but
and
for 2
look
weeks.
good, you would done ship Austin Corbett down the street, and I told you then to pump your
That's what they
damn
was gonna do.
brakes.
That's what they was gonna do.
Man,
If he'd have
what
came
J.H.
out
got
and
to
been
say about
lights
that? I
out,
wonder what J.H. got to say about that.
Yeah,
J.H., what you
if he
got to
came
go
say
out and
all the
been
about
way
that?
lights
left.
out,
Go all the way left. Let Jay, what's going on?
Jay,
What's going on?
Not
I'd have
much,
been all the way
man.
left when you damn they
Into
trading
what?
K man, they
Don't
trading
fuck
Austin Corbett because the K man's playing good. I'd have been like I told you,
You finished or you done?
I've been done. Cause y'all ain't listen. So I've been done.
Jay issue. Make some sense to this, man.
You
So the
won't
talk
listen.
today is about T Higgins.
Yeah. Should the Panthers bring in T Higgins? What should we do?
I mean, it's desperation at this point. If they want to trade for him, go ahead. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, y'all saying he young. He gonna come with he gonna request a bag. But I mean, if we got to move that offense, they should have been thinking about this. Why did they hold on to Brian Burns for so long if they knew they weren't gonna pay him? This kind of ass backwards, if you ask me. Um, T Higgins, have he won a Super Bowl?
T Higgins? No Super Bowl he's won yet.
So so
None.
why so why is some fans saying that he's chasing the ring if he never had one?
Well, he's 24 years old. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Like I said, his numbers are very impressive. But the number one thing is he's had a Joe Burrow at quarterback. Bryce Young is not quite on that level. How will he adjust with Bryce? That's more interested in than anything because he gonna get his money if he come here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you talk about where a player want to go, a lot of them go for the money. If you look at Pat Mahomes versus Tua, there's no comparison. But Hill went there because of the money. So if anything, they gonna chase that money rather a ring or wherever they go. None of that matters. They chasing the bag at the end of the day. So we got the money, and then we wanna help that offense. I mean, me personally, I don't want Higgins. I don't see a difference maker. That's just me. I mean, at this point, looking at free agency, wide receiver wise, he might be the best thing smoking if we got a trade for him. But what trade value do we have? We hardly got any picks. We won't have a first till what, 25? Just feel like he gonna be a difference. Then I mean, we might as well just ride with.
It's breaking up for some reason. I'm not sure.
Was that me or who's that?
That's GO.A.T showing the ATVs and stuff. Well, go
Yeah,
ahead.
he
Well,
breaking up
I'm listening to you, but you breaking up though, Jay.
just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm finna hear
Shout
my. Go ahead.
shout out to the chat, man. Tanya Coltrane said all he talk about is the bad things he need to be pulling for another team. They don't go to ass already. Hey God.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Jay. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, the history of you watching the Panthers, when the last time you seen a real number one? You know what I mean? Like we saying that we're saying that he's not a dominant or which wide receiver, but he is a number one. You know what I'm saying? When the last time have we had that here? You know what I'm saying? A young number one talent who commands double teams, who gives you 1,000 yards, who will complement the team. We don't have that on this team. So I don't understand how people want to put it down like, nah, let's not get him. He's not a difference maker. He is a difference maker. Because that's how Chase gets open the way he gets open. They are double teaming T Higgins.
Give me a second, Pop.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. You look at Cincinnati and what they do right there. They got a five-headed monster attack at in the wide receiving option room. Even with Joe Mixon being there, you got guys that
Mm-hmm.
can catch out of the backfield. They all open up and spread for each other. It starts with Jamar Chase. Then from there, like I said, T Higgins is that guy. And then what's the third receiver name? I can't never remember his name.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, I got it right here in front of me. I got it right here in front of me.
But it's like
Um,
we don't never want better for ourselves. So we're like, we'll just it's okay if they stay over there. Like, nah, that's not an excuse.
Boyd.
Like, if we can get Boyd,
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tanya talking about me?
Yeah, she talking about your ass.
She talking about me? Well,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
this the thing. See, if y'all want to be naive, man, and sit there and say, "Oh, this is so good, and then next thing, I wonder why we lost. Come on, man, that don't make no sense. Let's make sense. Y'all stop playing. Let's make sense. All I'm telling is the truth. Did they go out in free agency and get a bunch of people that was hurt? Yes, they did. Guys that had injury problems, and now the bug bit us with everybody at the same time. Come on, man. Who does that? Who goes out there and gets people on IR already hurt?
Now,
Yeah, but
now, now.
you can fix that now. Go, we're getting a healthy player and a number one. But that's too
We're
good to be
Yeah,
doing
true,
that.
though.
What I'm just saying, you're doing that after the fact. Go ahead and just bite the bullet, go on in the draft, man, and do the things the right way, though. Stop patching this shit, man. Stop
Leo.
patching.
I would give up to answer your question. Like I said, I would send a package for Burns, uh, and for in return, like I said, you get a first round, probably two first round picks for him. Considering that Burns would be the better the commodity out of the two, T Higgins is still a guy. It's not going to cost much for us to make that pick if you send Burns. Um, like I said, I'm against this, but if I'm the Panthers and I'm trying to figure something out, this is probably the move that they're going to potentially try to make. Because if the intent is to not sign Brian Burns long term, they're probably going to offer him as some kind of package to get T Higgins here. And in doing so, we can take a pick, get back in the first round, as well as get a second or a third round pick off of this because it's going to be a healthy price for them being that even though Higgins is a number one receiver, he still don't hold as much as value as Brian Burns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes sir. I can definitely go with that too because if we send Brian Burns, but we get a first round pick this year or a first round pick next year as well, and then you get a potential second or a third rounder, we can go back in the draft, take that pick, and get us a future that'll get us one back up in the first round. Then we'll have two second round picks potentially, and then the next year we'll have a first round pick the following year. So I'll take it. I'll take that, Bubba. If that's what it means, that's smart GMing because you done put yourself in a stupid position where now you don't want to pay your franchise guy. So you got to look at it from a different perspective of okay, I got to get the most for him, and what better way than to go out, give Bryce a full bona fide weapon, and you can go and compete right now and put some points up on the board. I don't see nothing wrong with that, Bo.
Mm.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. I like it too. Like I said, I'll sleep a little bit better at night knowing that I got a T Higgins in the building. And then it's gonna cost me probably $10 million less than what it would have cost me to get a Burns. You talking 19, 20 million, maybe 21, to sign T Higgins. And like I said, you will have him. He's 24 years old. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons. So you're giving your quarterback a fighting chance. You're going to open up a lot of things for Thielen, Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst. They all benefit from him coming here. Like I said, he's going to pull the attention. Right now, there's nobody on this team that you can really pull the attention from and say, okay, let us focus or let's try to neutralize this one guy. We don't have that. Putting the T. Higgins on this team changes that, you know? Yes, sir. So shout out to everybody who's just getting in here. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, show us that love, subscribe if you haven't. This is one of the ones where MDJ said he just pulling up. Man, what? Come on in the building. Look, the reports are the Panthers are seeking. I guess they're trying to talk about what could they potentially do to get a T Higgins in the building. He is definitely we're being sought as a draft destination spot for him. I mean, not a draft, but a trade destination spot. So let think about it. Cincinnati already has so many weapons. They got Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. They got a lot of weapons. They could stand to lose a weapon. Because from what I'm understanding, and this is the report that I read earlier, that there are no way in the same realm of what the money should be for T Higgins. So therefore, you should look for Higgins to try to potentially try to seek himself a trade to get the money that he's looking for. They already done paid Jamar Chase, and they don't want to sit here and I guess keep throwing money out of receiver. I don't know what Cincinnati is thinking, but you need as many weapons as you could to make sure your quarterback is successful in this league. So I guess they figured that they got the guy in Joe Burrow. They could stand to potentially he should make everybody else better. So they probably looking to draft to get cheaper options. I would go with the proven commodity for us because we need a guy like this, man. We really do. How y'all fellas feeling?
I'm on board with it. It seems like it's two v two right now. Jay issues like nah, goes like hell nah. Man, you're like yeah, I got right with it.
No,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
go
I'm
ahead, go
I'm
ahead, Jay.
I must say, y'all boys making a lot of sense. Uh, I'm with it. I mean, if shit, looking at our injury bug right now at receiver, if that man been healthy his whole career in Cincinnati, then it only
Mm-hmm.
makes sense to trade for him. So I'm not shunning it all the way out. Like I'm listening to it. And I probably gotta tune in to T Higgins some more to look at his game. To be honest, I'm kind of like I've been so focused on our damn team. I ain't been looking at no other wide receivers to even trade for.
Yeah, he might miss 1 or 2 games, JSU, but he's majority healthy most of the time, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna put his numbers up on the screen. And let y'all look at it, man. Like I tell you, this cat, he
This
like
season.
that, bro. I
But
can't even
I think
lie.
right now it should put us more at ease and
Oops.
feel comfortable that he's going to
And
play.
I ain't even trying to duck your question, Pop, because I know you asked when was the last time or if we ever had a young wide receiver that was a number one that stood out and did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I gotta look at T Higgins game, I'm looking for if he can dominate that field like we call Thielen a safety blanket. He understands that he needs to be open for his quarterback. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing in Carolina right now, but he's never done that in Minnesota. So Adams is really confusing me because usually you will see him understanding that he need a first down. His head is already turned before he get out the break, or once he pop, he looking to get open. But I'm not seeing it right now. Maybe he just up there in age. I'm not trying to.
He's not 100% healthy. He's
Yeah,
not 100%
y'all knew
healthy.
that because he was
Uh,
questionable
yeah,
before the season even
yeah,
started,
exactly. He's
and
not
they forced his
100%
ass
Mm,
healthy.
out
mm,
there.
mm,
It's health, man. It's health.
Yeah.
mm, 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 mm.
So if
It's
if
health. It's,
if
it's, it's
Higgins can
health.
show
What's
me,
killing us, man? With a lot of with everybody. It's health.
oh yeah, of course, yeah. But if T Higgins can show me that he was like a young Adams, then hell yeah, I'm all for it.
Think about it, Jay. I mean, if you come to the game, you got Bryce Young, Terrence Marshall Jr., Mango, LaVisca, Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst. You got a better cast around your quarterback now. And this offensive line shouldn't have the task of holding up for so long, which they did awesome Sunday.
Yeah, they
They did
did.
awesome. You give them this guy, he could take the roof off of the offense. He could really take the top off of it, man.
So okay, so I got a question then. When,
hmm
how soon are y'all trying to make that trade?
If I'm not trying to sign Brian Burns, I'm making that trade ASAP. As soon as I can work out the kinks of the deal, I'm making that bitch before the week 8 trade deadline. I got to.
Yes,
What
sir. I
about
like the way you think, Q. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to make that happen before week 8 trade deadline. And you looking at something? It's the beginning of the talks on it, so you know now they probably sitting down at the table trying to figure out what it's going to take to get him here. Wait about week 5. It's going to really heat up around week 5. Just watch.
okay? That's it's an eye opener to see big Brian Burns supporters ready to move off his ass. Is it because they're not trying to trade him, or y'all willing to trade him?
I'm actually deep down inside, Jay. I'm hurt like a motherfucker. Because like you say, Brian Burns is my favorite play on this team right now, and to see that the Panthers are basically telling me that they have no they're not trying to sign this guy long term, man, and they around here dragging their feet with it, and so I'm not surprised. So I had to take that in for what it is and come to the realization that they're going to potentially try to move on from Burns. So I'd much rather, if I have to move on from Brian Burns, I'd much rather have a T Higgins in the building. That way I can sleep better at night knowing that my offense can go out here and put up some points at least. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
It hurts like a motherfucker now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even like even talking, putting Brian Burns in trade talks, but I'm looking at the perspective from the Panthers have. If this boy was your number one priority, it would have been done already. So the fact that they aren't tells me that they're going to potentially try to shop this guy. They probably, like you said, now you're seeing the rumors coming out with T Higgins and him being linked to the Panthers. They done sat down to the table and start talking this thing out. Okay, what's it going to take? I scratch your back, you scratch my back. You give me this, I give you that. They sit down talking now. So by week 8 trade deadline, I expect maybe this is how it went with Baker. If y'all don't remember how it was with Baker, trade talk started, then it cooled down. Trade talk started again, then it cooled down again. Next thing you know, I said, man, we ain't getting no fucking Baker. Nobody want no goddamn Baker. Next thing you know, right after the draft night, boom, Baker Mayfield's traded to the Carolina Panthers. I said, I'll be damned. This is how it starts, though. Wiley, what's up with you, Bubba?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Just enjoying the show.
Oh man, we appreciate you, man. How you feeling about everything?
Man, remember I told y'all T Higgins, man. T Higgins is he's the number one and we can afford him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't want to give up Brian Burns in the process, but
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can have your cake and eat it too on this one, Bubba.
that's horrible. I don't think that I don't want Higgins then. Fuck that. It's easier to get a receiver than get a Brian Burns.
Yeah, you 100% correct on that. But this is the Panthers we talking about, where they haven't been moving vertically; they've been moving laterally. You know what I'm saying? So
I understand. I understand completely. It's just if I get a vote now, we we've been having a hard time drafting receivers. True, we have a
hmm
worse time drafting defensive ends. It ain't just us; it's the entire league. So I'd rather take my chances on defensive end. I mean, to me, receiver than defensive end. Plus, you know, we I think the fan base is going to have to live with the process of we'll have not 2 years of okay play before we actually get to start winning. I
mm.
mean, that's the real. I don't know what else to say. Uh,
Wiley. Unfortunately, and after Jay asked me that question when he said, it's hard to see, Brian Burns supporters say, okay, well, if he has to be traded, because we've been knocking on the table for this cat for the longest when people say trade him. It
mhm.
bothers my spirit to have to sit here and say, damn, if the Panthers don't want to sign this boy, then we're gonna have to give him up. Well, if we give up or let him walk, I'd much rather have somebody for our young quarterback to have a nucleus built around him because we haven't built a great nucleus around Bryce Young. We went out and built a team for any one of those quarterbacks in the draft, but we didn't
Mm.
specially cater something to Bryce Young.
Okay. Well,
So think
you
about it now.
you know
Think
what?
about it, Wiley.
I'm thinking about something here. So
Mm-hmm.
last year, the same thing happened with damn it, Everett. The same thing happened with Denver. Denver traded Chubb. Remember that? They traded
Mm-hmm.
Chubb
Mm-hmm.
to Miami.
Yes,
And
sir.
what happened? And what happened to their defense? The
It went
defense got
down.
better. No, it got better.
Talking about Denver defense.
Yeah, yeah.
So you think we'll get better off of getting rid of
No,
Burns?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you had these guys in the room and they all talking and they look at recent evidence, damn it, I don't like this. I don't like it. This one time I don't like the numbers. I don't like these damn numbers.
You notice I got his numbers on. I got his numbers on the screen right now.
Uh-huh.
In his rookie campaign, he damn near put up 1K.
Yeah.
He followed that up every other consecutive year with 1K. He's a solidified guy.
Oh
He's
yeah.
there,
Oh yeah. And
and I think that'll stop
he
the bleeding.
and he can beat one-on-one coverage.
Yes, he can.
So
And what's the number one thing we talked about Sunday that we didn't see from these receivers?
couldn't get separation.
Mm-hmm. So I love Thielen as much, but if Thielen had a guy that could let the pressure up off of him, then yes, he can work through underneath and through the middle, and
Yep.
he really attack that slot the way we know he could. He could come up under the radar a little bit more with this guy being in the building. So T Higgins is a security blanket for a lot of these guys on the team if we can make it happen. How
Yeah.
far? How
But
far? How do you, so I want to know, Wiley, because if we have to give up Burns and we potentially get a T Higgins, will you be comfortable with that?
no, 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 no. I seen what Denver did last year. I have respect for that. Because they gave up Chubb when Chubb wanted all that money. But I can't see it, man. Maybe it's just me. I can't see how we'll be in a better situation. Based
Mm,
on past
mm,
performance, based on, the league itself, it doesn't make logical sense. Yeah, you're not going to get your number one receiver for 2 years, but you can get him in 2 years. I mean,
Well,
go ahead.
the number one thing is if you got a product or a piece of value that you don't or no longer want. And Brian Burns is that high piece of value. He's that fine china. He's that fine end table. That piece of wood, the best piece of wood, not no cheap mahogany or nothing. He's the best piece of wood that's out there, but you don't want him, and you can't really see fit to really sign this guy and get him back in the building. Y'all can't get on the same page. You get a chance to get a guy that can come in and really bolster your offense. Are you taking this or are you passing this over?
If I'm the team, I'll take it. But as a supporter, hell no. Mm. And
But does
I say
okay.
Brian Burr need to fire that damn. He need to fire. He need to fire his agent. This shit. I don't think it has nothing to do with Brian Burns. It's his agent. His agent is trying to compete with his damn office mate. It has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with Burns. We need to fucking protest that motherfucker.
Hmm.
We need to get on fucking Instagram and start harassing that motherfucker. That's what we need to be doing as a fan base. Because I don't think it had nothing to do with Brian Burns or the team. That motherfucker's trying to compete with his own guy that's 2 cubicles down. This is some bullshit.
So Wiley, let's take Brian Burns out of the picture off of this team right now, and say we make that trade. We got T Higgins. We're going out there. Yay, high powered offense. Uh, and the spot out there as an edge rusher is going to be a little bit vacant until we get to that next year's draft where we'll have a number one. We'll have two number twos potentially with that trade or two number threes. Do you trust the Carolina Panthers to come out and get a replacement for Brian Burns? Do you trust him to draft somebody?
No, no, no. Look, okay. Between Brian Burns and say Peppers, Brian Burns is Peppers' equivalent. How
Mm-hmm.
many years was that? 18 years.
18 years.
Come on, man. We had guys in between, but they weren't no fucking Peppers, and they weren't Brian Burns. People can talk what they want to talk, but Brian Burns is already he's on Peppers' timeline. So we're gonna trade away a guy that's gonna make the fucking Hall of Fame for what? This
Well,
is stupid.
It's the Panthers way.
tell
Yeah,
him, Jay.
I hear you, Jay. I hear you, Jay. This this is
Yeah,
pissing
it's
me off,
bullshit.
man. Yeah, it is. This
But
is the kind of
fellas,
stuff right here. Go ahead.
I mean,
cheer up, fellas. Though I mean, it's not a bad thing to get T Higgins, though. I mean,
Man, you can't
because
stop shit.
but
Yeah,
listen,
okay.
listen,
What? You can't stop
listen,
me. You
Rob,
can't stop me. You can't
Rob,
stop me. Come on, man.
Rob,
Yeah, go ahead.
you ain't you ain't saying no damn T. You can cut that out. Boy. Your jersey been hung up. Uh, they ain't trying to play. They're not trying to pay Brian Burns. So you might as well try to get something out of it now. You know what I'm saying? When you can, because then, like everybody's saying, why they ain't paid him? Because they don't want to pay him. They don't want to pay him
I
$30
believe
million.
that. Yeah.
He wants $30
hmm
million. He's not going no less. He's not going no higher. He wants $30 million. He's sticking to his guns. He wants $30 million. And if he keeps playing the way he's playing, like we think he is, he's gonna be worth more than that. So why would you? If you're not gonna pay him, you might as well go ahead and get somebody who you can pay $22 million. You know what I'm saying? 19, 20 million. Get him his first big generational check instead of paying 10 more extra mil for him. And then you get a first, a extra third, and you can go get your pass rusher in the first round this year.
So do
Yeah.
so do
So
y'all
hold on.
think
Go ahead, Jay. My man.
so do y'all think since he got the money for Burns?
That'll be their problem if they make the trade for him.
Need a
What
three-way trade.
Well, they got the money to pay T Higgins right now. They just don't want to pay him. The same situation Higgins is going through is the same situation Brian Burns going through. They got the money. They got over $40 million. From what I understand, they just don't want to make the deal because they feel like they're paying Jamar Chase. They got their bona fide number one guy for Burrow, and then they got Boyd right there. So I mean, they got Mixon. They got that tight end dude. And like I said, they got a lot of good weapons around Joe Burrow. So they don't feel like they should overpay for a receiver because he won't 20 something. Why would they put 60 million potentially in receivers? Because that's 20 to Jamar, that'll be 20 to him, and then when Tyler Boyd come, it could be damn near 20 for him too. They don't want to do that type of money into receivers.
Okay. Um so y'all want two first for Burns, that's requirement.
Has to. Has to. Because we've seen the statute of what everybody else was sending from him last year, and you seeing how he started off as a monster so far. Hell, they better be glad we don't ask for 3 first round picks.
Yep, get your first for this year, your first for next year. Now you back in the first round with your number one wide receiver. Go get your
Mm-hmm.
edge, your second pick. Go get your linebacker that everybody want. Shit, your third pick. Go get your corner. Your fourth pick. Go get you some offensive tackle lineman. Your fifth pick. Go get you another offensive tackle lineman. Now you back in the game.
Yeah.
So
You have
yeah,
absolutely did what you didn't do the last 2 years.
yeah, you
So
filled the holes on your team, and you basically built everything. Then you have a young team that's fresh from the ground up. Because if you think about it, to the veterans that's here, think about it. If they do that to Brian Burns, JC right behind him, they gonna get rid of JC too, and
yep,
Jeremy Chin.
they gone.
They gone, Bubba. Just saying,
Okay.
they gone.
So we
We're,
want
we're gonna reset our whole defense.
They
Not the whole
probably
defense, but
Jesus.
you
they
still gonna have
probably gonna
your
get
you
rid
still
of
have
some of
Derrick
them
Brown. You still have your Newboo.
valuable.
You
Mm-hmm.
still got
yeah.
your DJ Johnson. See what he can do. and then you just got to go get you another edge, which will be your number one draft pick. Whoever the best edge is, that's who you be going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Pop, I was just saying a few minutes ago, man, we looked at was it yesterday or the day before. Man, there've been a lot of guys drafted, a lot of guys, Burns and Boza, and then you got a whole bunch of other motherfuckers that was supposed to be something. It's not a
I mean, at least one side of the ball would be at least solidified. You can work on the other. You
yeah, I
still got free
guess.
agency, so
Yeah, I
I mean, you
guess.
still got other people you can pick to help your defense. But I mean, at the end of the day, at least your core. Uh, I mean, shoot, and then we don't know what we can get some trade value out of some of these tight ends we got. We got 5 of them. We don't need fucking 5. That's trade
Hell,
value right there. 𝐥𝐤𝐬, what you want from 𝐥𝐤𝐬? I'm pretty sure somebody need
Oh
him.
yeah, yes
You can
sir.
get some trade value there.
yeah, they'll start making some moves soon. Leo, how you feel about potentially T Higgins and what we were talking about bringing him back for? How you feel about that?
Oh, good afternoon. Well, good morning, gentlemen. Pardon
Afternoon.
me.
Yes, sir. Morning, morning.
Yeah,
It's both.
thank you. I appreciate it, brother. I heard what you said, and I was all for it until I looked at the logistics of it. It won't work, brother, unless Cincinnati's willing to give up the player they drafted last year, Miles Murphy, because they already have 2 defensive ends on their team. They got Trey Hendricks last year from the Saints, and they got Sam Hubbard. And I don't think they'll offer Brian Burns a contract because Jamar Chase going to want 22 a year next year.
Mm. Yeah, well, there it is.
Yeah, the guy's like, damn, that sounds perfect. But then I remember Trey Hendricks they got from the Saints. They keep giving him 15. Hubbard, they giving him 9. And then, like say, Jamar Chase going to want 22 to 23 next year.
So let me ask you a question. Are those guys better than Brian Burns?
I mean, Trey Hendricks is comparable because of his sack numbers, but um, I mean, if we trade straight, if they give us Miles Murphy or the draft pick, but I don't think they would. Like I said, we need players. We don't need we need like draft picks. So I don't think the Panthers
Yeah.
would take Trey Hendricks back for Brian Burns. Like you said, the draft capital, the draft picks. But if they
Mm-hmm.
just straight up for Brian Burns, they don't have the money on the team to keep him by. So
Well, what I'm saying is they just made a bunch of sacrifices on the defensive end of the football, giving up Jesse Bates, Von Bell, and those guys because they realized they couldn't pay him and
mhm.
keep the receiving core intact. What I'm saying is what if they said they look out and said, okay, we want to upgrade our defensive line. We want to be able to get to the quarterback a lot better. Our guys are good, but we need that Ferrari that's sitting over there in Carolina.
But that's what I'm saying. You're right, but they can't pay him because they let Jesse Bates go. They can't have Burns on the team paying Burns 20, 28. Hendricks getting 16. And they just drafted Miles Murphy from Clemson last year. So they trying to, because they're going to let Higgins walk. They're going to let him walk because Chase going to want 23. And they're going to have to give it to him. Joe
Yeah.
getting damn near 50. So
50 mil. Yes, sir. That's half of their
yeah,
cap right there.
yeah. So is it? Like I said, damn, that sounds really good, but I don't think they're gonna roll with that, man.
So give me an alternative then to trying to figure out, okay, one, how do we get a guy like T here? Because they steady linking him to us. So therefore that leads me to believe somebody doing some talking behind scenes. How do we get him here then?
Probably like another team getting involved, send him to the Rams, and send Burns to the Rams, and then try to figure out. Hopefully, we can get another team involved. I don't know if they do that in the NFL. I know they do that in the NBA, but I don't know if they do that in the NBA and the NFL. But
Let me ask you a
unless
question.
yes, sir.
𝐥𝐤𝐬𝐻 don't have a defined role on this team. You think they wouldn't send him over there?
Yeah, that's a good prospect. Yeah, I agree with that. Because they don't have a viable safety option, and
Yeah.
Cincinnati could pay him, crumbs.
6-7 million a year or whatever he
Yeah,
required, because he hasn't had a breakout campaign, so it wouldn't cost much to pay him. That would be a good fit.
yeah,
You get a good
yeah.
serviceable safety. We get the receiver we want, but we won't be getting no first round pick.
Nah, probably just an even swap. To be honest with you, brother.
I'll
If
be
they were to
damned.
do that, because that sounds a little more plausible than Burns because they don't have the money for to keep Brian Burns on the team. But yeah, I see that Chin thing. If they value Chin the way some Chin fans value him, I don't see the player being good. But I mean, if y'all say that he good, then I mean, hey, but I don't see that. I don't see him being any good.
Chin has diminished right before our very eyes, man, and it's the usage. They're not putting him in positions to win, and therefore, I'm afraid by the time as they do it, Chin is going to be on the latter half of his career. Once they do figure it out, and it's going to be too late by then, Bubba.
So Leo, you said that you don't think they will sign Burn due to the signing of the pass rush?
Yeah, they have somebody they got from the Saints. I can't remember his name just a minute ago, and they drafted Miles Murphy. They got two defensive ends on their team getting more than I think one making 9, the other one making like 15. And
Okay.
they drafted Miles Murphy last year, so I don't think they will want another player.
So looking at their script, dude is signed to a 1 year, and another one is a rookie. Um, I don't see why they wouldn't sign Burns if the Panthers and Cincy do come in contact and want to trade. I think they will slide him in pretty easily. Looking at their pass rush.
But I hear you, but you got to consider the money though. Who's 1 year? Flowers,
Trey
Trey
Hendrickson.
Flowers 1 year. Okay,
No, it's not Flowers. It's Hendrickson.
Trey Hendricks got 1 more year left on his contract.
No, he signed a 1 year contract.
Trey Hendricks, he got signed last year. I think they gave him. He's on 1 year deal. Okay, if what you're saying is valid, then I mean they possibly could get Burns and then move over Trey for that 1 year. So
I'm reading it right now. Miles Murphy is a rookie, so he signed his contract.
what about Sam? Sam Hubbard, they could cut him.
What is he, a pass rush?
Yeah, he's a pass rusher. Then I mean, if I didn't look at the years. I thought they gave Hendricks a contract. But if you're saying it's just 1 year left, then
Yep.
they possibly could do that then.
Yep, July 27th this year.
Wow.
Scott Fitterer, what's going on with you, Scott Fitterer hater? What's up,
What's good? What's good?
How you
man?
doing, brother?
Talk to us.
Welcome to
Talk
the
to
show.
us.
Man, I'm down for a T Higgins trade, but like my problem is like, what's the cost? A first round pick, I don't think I'd do that because we don't have a first next year.
Mm-hmm.
And like Burns straight up, I don't know, man. I think Burns is our best player, like in general. So I don't know about
Right.
that.
Hey, brother, you have to taper your words because Brian Burns is debatably the best player on the team.
Who you think better than Burns?
The defensive tackle who had a better game than he did.
Brown?
Derek Brown.
Yes, sir. Derek Brown.
I don't think so, man.
Jared Bryant, a monstrous game.
He
Monstrous
did.
But
game.
like,
He really did, bro. I ain't
but
gonna lie.
like,
I ain't seen
remember,
Jared
it's
Brown
just
play
one
like that
game.
before.
It's just one game. Last year, Burns was like definitely better.
Nah, that's not a factual statement. That's your opinion. But according to the stats, Derek Brown had a better year for the team. I hear what you're saying. That's your opinion, but just don't throw it out there as if it's a factual statement. Because
All
according
right,
to
but
the
like,
stats,
here's the thing though.
Derek Brown had a better year than Brian Burns did. For the position that they play, Derek Brown had a better year than Brian Burns did for the position that they play.
Okay, but I'd argue that Burns is more valuable just because he's like Brown. He's more so like a run stuffer, right? And Burns is more of a pass rusher. So I would say because of that, Burns is our most valuable player. Would you agree
Mm.
on that?
Well, yeah, because his ability to impact the game is much bigger But Derek Brown, his role last year, he was taking double and triple teams, bro.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like, okay, Burns is better against the pass. Like, I'd rather have like a better player against the pass than the run. Would you agree on that?
So if we go up the last game, Derek Brown had more tackles for loss. He had more tackles, and he had a sack. So, I mean,
and Burns had 2 sacks.
No. Statistically, they give him 2. I saw 1.5. They gave him 2.
They gave him 1.5, even though he had 2. They
No, they
took
gave him
a half credit sack away from him. They
So
gave
we
it to
gotta
him.
go. Well, we got to go with what we know. We got to go what's on the paper.
Hold on.
So,
Did they go back and give it to him? Because last time I checked, they made it 2. Let me check that to be factual.
okay, because I saw 1.5. Then they gave him 2.
Let me see what's going on here, because maybe I gotta refresh the screen. Hold on. Yeah, maybe I gotta refresh the screen because mine's saying 1.5. So let me go to NFL.com. Maybe they got a little bit different. Oh no, they refreshed it. Okay, 2 on NFL.com. 5 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 forced fumble.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Brian Burns with forced fumble.
I'll share it on the screen. I had to get it up. Lord have mercy.
You could argue that Brown is better at his position, sure, but Burns is much more valuable.
Here we go.
I hear you, man, but so next year we're gonna have to pay both of them because who y'all gonna let go?
Hello.
Look, they put it right here. They changed it.
Like Brown's problem is the man. Like,
Okay.
he's a good run. He's good against the run. He's just questionable about against the pass.
Outside of Kansas City defensive tackle and dude from the Rams, who else getting sacks like that though at the defensive tackle position?
Dexter Lawrence, Jeffrey Simmons. Shit, there's a lot, man.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. Hey man, you opened my eyes up to. I did not know they adjusted the sack total for Brian Burns. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, bro, no problem.
So right now, what's your feelings on the team? Being that this is your first time up here, I'd like to hear your viewpoints on how you feel about the organization because I see your name.
Yeah, man, I'm not a Scott Fitterer fan, man. The man, he can't draft so far. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what's his good pick right now? Icky at pick 6. Aside from that, his drafts has not been good, And like the free agent moves have been questionable. Letting go of Hassan, letting go of what's his name, the Gilmore.
But was that him or was that Matt Rule?
Well, we don't know.
50-50. We can't give all the blame to Matt Rule,
You remember he came in, he had his hands
Yes,
tied because they had that guy. They hired him after the fact. They had Matt Rule here with GM powers.
But even freaking Scott in his interview said that those are not Matt Rule's picks. Those are like both of their picks. We can't.
Who's still with the team?
What'd you say?
Who's still with the team? Scott or Rule?
Scott Fitterer.
All right, so he has to take the blame. Why would he go after Matt Rule? That's not even on the team. What would that make him look like?
It happened on his clock, on his watch, so he gonna have to say, "Yeah, I had a hand in that."
Exactly.
But man, he still deserves some blame.
I understand people don't like Scott, but give it time. Just know that he didn't have full control of this roster.
So
or call him picks in the draft.
The one thing that I do agree with you with is under Scott's regime, we could have drafted better. We've seen a bevy of guys that's come in through the door, like last year's draft. That's really per se that's not really even on the team anymore. We've seen a bevy of guys that's been coming through. I don't know what the scouting department is doing. I think that's more or less on the scouting department than on the GM. Even though he makes the final call on them, I think it's more or less on the evaluation of talent.
I mean, like the only good pick so far is 𝐥𝐤𝐤. You know, it was a 6th overall pick, and I don't even know about 𝐥𝐤𝐤 anymore. He's like
The
he's one of
jury
the
is still out. Well, let me
No,
ask you this
no,
real
no, no.
quick.
Icky played good Sunday now. Hold on. I'm not gonna let y'all do that.
No, Q, the jury's still out on him being a
jury's still out. He had a lot of
solidified
sacks.
player. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Icky, man. I can't. I ain't gonna let y'all bury him though. I got you though. I got you.
Look, the jury's still out.
Let me ask you, so would you pay Brian Burns what he asking?
How much you asking? 30 mil?
28.
28.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? I want to win it. I want to make the playoffs this year just because we don't have our first. I don't want to see the freaking other team with the high first. So yeah, I want him on the team. I want him fully committed. I would do it, but I understand if they're not doing it. I mean, like, Burns is good, but he's not Nick Bosa, you know?
But their numbers are comparison. Their numbers are almost damn near identical, minus the sack total.
Q,
They two different types of player though. You do realize that.
Q Bosa missed the whole season. Damn near. He played like 3 games that one year.
I mean, like, even if you watch the game, Bosa just makes more impact.
I'm talking career-wise, Leo. I'm talking career-wise.
That's what I'm saying. Career-wise, Bosa missed the damn the whole season. That's why his numbers are comparable. And I mean,
come on, Leo. God damn.
But brother, Burns is a good player, but the dude, he not Bosa, he not white, he not them dudes, man. That dude ain't never and Q didn't like it.
But tell me why. But tell me why. Tell me why though.
I can tell you why.
Tell me why.
I can tell you why. They ain't come from the same mom and dad. Why the hell would we? Why would we try to compare him to Bosa? They're not the same person.
Well, Leo
is not the same.
Why isn't Brian Burns' numbers reflecting the same as a TJ Watt or a Bosa or one of those guys? What do we have around him?
Q, he's not that good.
He's not as good as them.
Just accept that, brother. You can't accept that fact.
So let me ask. So does TJ Watt have a full team around him? Does Bosa not have a full goddamn defense around him?
Q, when he had help, he wasn't even
around him.
Q, when they had Hassan Riddick, Burns didn't even lead in sacks, but Riddick led in sacks.
They opened up stuff for each other, bro. Stop that.
Nah, Q, man, boy. That's right. You say that's your favorite play. I got you. Okay, my bad.
Here's the thing with Brian, right?
Oh, I'm biased now. Here you go.
All of you, brother. Oh my God. You comparing to Bosa and TJ Watt. So I hear you.
Oh, and I forgot Myles Garrett. Should I add him in there too? He's our version of those guys. You just had to build a defense. You had to build a defense around him, bro. We haven't done that.
He's not on their level.
He's not on their level. Like, I love Brian. I love Brian, but he's not on their level.
But why isn't he on their level? Please tell me why.
He's not that good. He's not that. You don't have the ability, Q.
He has the ability. I see it on the field. Anybody that can dominate the way that he dominates Sunday has the same ability as those guys. You can't tell me that bullshit.
Dominate Q in the first half. That's all after the first half. You ain't see Burns. What are you talking about, Q?
Come on, bro. He dominated the first half of the damn Atlanta game.
Here we go, Leo.
Okay, listen. Here's my take on Burns, okay?
Leo didn't watch the game.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Q, man.
You ain't watched the game.
Man, I watched that whole trash.
If you saying Burns did not dominate that game, you lying right now.
After the first half, the first 3 drives, you didn't see him. What was he at, Q?
Oh Lord, now he non-existent.
Leo, you said he wasn't there the first half, which is a lie.
I said he was the first 3 drives, and then after that, you ain't hear nothing about Brian Burns. I said the first 3 drives. I know. I watched the game. I watched that. I was in and out. I was watching.
Look at his numbers against the rush and how many hurries he had in that first half. Man, this damn near almost had 5 sacks in the first half. Damn near. Now they just went back and replaced it and put 2 there. The motherfucker had damn near 3 locked in where his hands was right there on the person.
Q.
Come on, Leo.
The Panthers don't think he that good. I hear you. You think he that good. The Panthers don't think he on that level. I hear you, brother. I'd have signed
that nigga a long time ago.
Kemp. But Sean Kemp and Tracy McGrady not on Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan level. I hear you, brother.
Man, Tracy McGrady was on that Jordan level.
You know what I'm
Hell
saying? But
no, bro.
I mean,
Hell.
I'm just giving you an example of like me being biased. But I won't say that they on that level. But
But
I
you
feel you though,
cannot
brother. But
tell
the
me with
Panthers
a
don't
serious
think that
face.
because they'd have paid him 30 million, brother. I hear you.
I listen. You cannot tell me with a serious face you think he's as good as Bosa.
I think he's on the same level as Bosa.
No.
His value to this team is just as important as a Bosa's to his team. Is what I'm saying.
But he ain't on the
Take
level of Bosa.
Okay, I understand that's your opinion, but we looking
Yeah,
at it
you gotta
and
let
we
him. Yeah,
seeing
that's how I feel.
we
Yeah.
seeing what this nigga value. Look, he's just as valuable as Bosa and T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. He's that one guy that the defense tried to neutralize on this team. I watched this nigga beat fucking triple team Sunday. Triple teams. You don't triple team a cat if there's a supporting cast around him. He got triple teamed.
His dad, they not gonna give him 30 million, brother. I hear you, but
Hold
they
on,
not
hold on,
paying him
Leo.
30 million.
Did he or did he not got triple team Sunday? Did you not see
Leo
that?
didn't watch the game. He already stated that.
What you hear me say? I want to watch the game.
You
What do
said
you
he
hear me
was
say
in and
that?
out. Did you not?
I watched the. I mean, ain't nobody sitting up there watching that trash ass whole
See, you see
fucking
what I
game.
mean? So he don't want to
I
admit it.
watched
See,
some
he
of the
just said it was
game. I
trash.
watched some. I
All right, you
watched him
got
get
it,
the
Leo.
sacks, the first couple of sacks.
You
After
got
that,
it.
he didn't do nothing.
You got it.
So
Okay.
let me tell you what happened and why the rest of they started game planning, and shout out to Arthur Smith for making adjustments. This is what good coaches do. Once he realized that this nigga was beating me up on that left side, they said, "Oh fuck no, we got to go to the opposite side of this nigga, start running the ball to get the fuck away from him because there's not nobody on that side of the field worth a damn." So
Exactly.
When
I
Algier scored,
Exactly.
when Algier scored on the left, what was burned that? Because he scored a touchdown on the left side. I don't
well,
want to hear that,
see,
brother.
that's the play he was getting triple team. Go back and look at the damn
Oh.
tape. Go back and look at the tape. He had 3 motherfuckers on him.
They was blocking his ass because they was running the ball. They wasn't passing the ball. They was running the ball.
Oh,
I
they
hear you,
had
brother. Ain't
3 cats
nothing
with
wrong with
hands
that,
on
brother.
him.
I
3
hear you,
cats
brother.
had
So,
hands on Brian Burns on that play.
so
Go back and
Q,
look at it.
what Leo was
Shoot.
saying, if they run it, they're gonna block. They're gonna block Burns. If they throw it, they don't need to worry about Burns. That's what he's saying. That's why he got them sacks.
Mm. Jay, I'm trying to make sense of what they see when they see Brian Burns on this field because he's our very own version of those guys, and our own fans don't even respect him. That's just how
Shoot.
bad
Yeah,
the shit
I
is.
see.
Is he
Like,
Q? He $30 million worth? He 30 million? Is that what you saying? In your opinion, he 30 million?
your
Yes.
point was that
Okay.
Bosa and Garrett.
I got you.
Your point is that they get more double teams, right? I mean, Burns get
You
more
said
double teams than him. That's what you're
more
saying.
double teams than Bosa? No. They're getting about the same equal double teams and triple teams. They getting about the same. Because think about it. Bosa is on a much better defense. Is San Fran defense not better than the Carolina Panthers defense right now?
Because Brian
Hello?
Burns' double team rate was pretty low last year.
But I asked a simple question. Is San Fran
Q.
not a better defense than us?
Yeah, they're better
They are.
defense. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Now, the one problem is on their defensive line, they don't have another guy opposite of Bosa.
They do.
That's a big difference maker.
They got somebody that got 11 sacks last year, Q. They got, I forgot his name, but he got like 10, 11 sacks.
You're right, Leo. He got 11 sacks.
So he got 11. Okay, well then let's slide it over to the middle. What those guys in the middle's getting?
Q, boy, you take Q.
Dude.
Let's slide over to the middle. Let's slide over to the middle then.
Q, you can't move the goalposts so far, brother. You moving it around.
Somebody
I hear you,
lacking.
brother.
Somebody coming up lacking.
You moving the
that's not
goalposts
true.
around, brother.
Hey,
The end zone ain't so big. Q.
Okay, I'll pull up the numbers then since y'all want to do that.
Hold on
Okay.
a second, Leo.
What's up?
Listen,
Mhm.
we ain't
So,
saying
Leo,
that Burns
check
is
this
bad.
out.
I'm just saying that like he's not on the level as Bosa, which I think is pretty fair.
They're agreeing with you, Q. At the end of the day, they're agreeing with you. Leo just said he got a man's on the opposite side, but they disagreed at the same time. I'm
No, because when Burns had a man on the opposite side, the other man had more sacks than him. So I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but Leo,
Hold on. I'm gonna pull them numbers up. I don't want to hear nothing but numbers after this. Okay.
AQ, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Hey, check this out. So, Leo, when Burns had Reddick Reddick didn't get double teamed. Burns got double teamed. So this is the problem with that statement. If you go back and you look at the all 22s when we had Reddick wasn't getting double teamed. It was Burns getting double teamed. So if Reddick was all that, why would they double team Reddick? He's not even getting double teamed in Philly. He hasn't been
No,
getting
because
double
they
teamed.
got Sweat over there. They got other players. They can't
Here
double
we
team
go.
two players.
On the goalpost, Wiley.
And that's what I'm trying to say. They chose the right player to double team. They were double team Burns. That's why Reddick had more numbers.
Hey, where are you seeing these double team numbers from?
That's what I'm trying to get that.
Hey, if you can go on, I think it's Stat. I remember the name. I'm on my phone right now. There's a website I always look it up on. It's Stat. You remember what we were looking at, Jay?
So let me ask outside of my man who calling in, everybody. So y'all believe that Burns is on the same level as T.J. Watt and
Nobody's saying
Bosa?
that.
I'm asking because
No.
Q said he is. Okay.
I said his value is the same to this team as it is for them.
I agree.
I did not say he's on the same level. Understand what I'm saying? Without a Bosa on that defense, is different. Without a Brian Burns, that's the one guy that they say, okay, we can't let this motherfucker get off on us, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
His value is as strong as theirs is on their team. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. So Q, why? So you think the Panthers gonna give him 28 to 30?
If they want to contend right now, they better
contend.
But what are we contending for? The freaking
Yeah. So Q, what you mean contend? Contending for what?
Unfortunately, y'all boys don't understand what I'm saying. I'm steady. What's the point of teams getting their team together and getting quarterbacks and getting all these pieces to contend for championships, right?
Q, Brian Burns going to it's his 5th year. It ain't like he no 3rd year player. This is his 5th year.
Leo, and next year we should be contending for a championship. Now I didn't say this year, but next year with a young quarterback and the nucleus around him getting better, there's no reason with a strong defense we shouldn't be contending in the NFC right now.
Q, what nucleus you talking about? We got what nucleus talking about? Because we got a bunch of 1-year players on the team. Q, what nucleus you talking about?
Look, with the cast of what we have with your boy Mingo, Terrence Marshall, Hayden Hurst,
none of my boys.
Your other boy Sanders.
None of my boys.
This offensive line being intact, that defense being as strong as they were Sunday. This, whether y'all want to say it or not, this team should be contending in a year.
No, we should not. Stop being delusional.
Q, that's not gonna happen. Q, I hear you, brother. I mean,
but because it's not your opinion, don't mean I'm delusional. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying. I disagree.
Based on paper, the paper say, hey, this team is a little bit better than what we giving them credit for.
The NFL disagrees with you, brother. The NFL completely disagrees with you.
Hey, it is what it is. That's why I say. Whether y'all want to acknowledge it, sir, Mr. Scott Fitterer, whether you want to acknowledge it, we go out, we get another draft, we get thicker, we get better. Sooner or later, we're going to have enough depth to start contending in the NFC.
Yeah, sooner or later, yeah, I agree. Sooner or later.
I mean, goddamn.
Right. Sooner or later.
What's the point?
I ain't saying next year.
Sooner or later. I agree with you. Sooner or later, brother. You're right.
Sooner or later. I mean, eventually, sooner or later, we should be trying to make something. I mean, what are we doing this for?
No, I agree with you.
Sooner or later, bro.
Next year's too early.
Next year too early. So how long will it take? 5 years?
No, we don't know. Like you say, bro. Sooner or later. Sooner or later, bro.
I think after next year's 2026 season.
I just said 1 year. So you're saying in 2 years we'll be contending? That ain't too far off from what I just said.
I'm saying
next year, 2 years. Yeah, that's you the window. I hear you.
The point is after you get your quarterback, you're supposed to have the head to your car. Your car can't drive without somebody behind the steering wheel. You got him behind the steering wheel now.
Q, the jury is out on Bryce Young. Q, don't do that. We don't know what we got.
Leo, you know I'm not a Bryce Young guy at all. You know I'm an AR-15. I like what I saw with him, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, they said we were missing that one thing to get us started in the right direction, not to contend, but in the right direction.
Yeah,
quarterback. We had Sam Darnold and PJ Walker last year. and Baker Mayfield. So Bryce is supposed to be a step in the right direction. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, supposed to be. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Supposed to be. Yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying. A step in the right direction. He's supposed to be driving the car that's supposed to be taking us to Mint Street. That's supposed to be taking us eventually to the Super Bowl. Eventually.
So they say. You're right, brother.
That's what they say. We're gonna see in 2 years what the fuck he is.
Yeah, give it time. That was
We
week
gonna.
one.
Yeah. I agree. I'm gonna hold my reservations for the gentleman. You know, but
Now, my question for you, Leo, is: did he come with a good cash?
nah. Just like Joe Burrow didn't have a cast around him when he came in the league, and they drafted Chase. So we gonna see.
No,
They gotta.
no.
Nah, I
That's cap.
disagree.
That's
I
cap.
disagree on that.
That's
When
cap.
Joe Burrow came in the league, he had Tyler
That's-
Boyd and T Higgins. That's better than what we have.
Chase
Oh
was
yeah.
drafted before Burrow got there.
No, brother, he came after.
A year after?
Yeah, the next year.
But he still had a cast. He had a run game. And he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
Leo
Yeah.
don't do that.
Listen, he had
No,
Nick
but I mean, I'm saying that's what I say. That's what I said. I said that before the game, even Sunday. I said sit Bryce because he don't have nothing around him, and just build around the team and play the old man because Bryce don't have nothing around him.
According to your owner, you know he knows everything. He knows what he's doing. He been knowing what he's doing.
Yeah. He don't know what he's doing. It's a toy to him. The Panthers are a toy to him. That's all.
Yeah.
The soccer team, the football thing, it's just a novel toy. You know, he wants to be Jerry Jones, but he didn't put the work and the time into building a team. So, you know, when you got money like that, you can just play with shit because he's too invested in it.
Okay, I just had to come for Bryce back up. You know what I mean? It's not all on him. You gotta look at
No, not by no means. It'd be ridiculous for me to say that it's on him because everybody needs somebody around him.
Okay.
So
I would just let him sit down a little bit until you build it because then they're gonna cast the blame on him if it don't work out. Rightfully so.
So let me ask you a question. If I had a team on now this is just me going revisiting something that we talked about earlier. If I had a team with Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, Cleveland Farrell, Javon Kinlaw, that's just on the tackle front. That's not even including Fred Warner, an all-pro linebacker in the middle. Now, you got to understand, this team that's around Bosa is here and they're ready to eat, bro. Bosa don't have, if Bosa missed a couple of games, I get it. They'll still move on because they got, like I said, all those guys lined right up.
They got a first-round pick. They got a lottery pick when Bosa got hurt. They didn't.
So, Leo, does Bosa have a better supporting cast? So, tell me one player on our team right now that's better than Fred Warner. Please, I'll wait. No. Tell me one player right now on our team that's better than Fred Warner right now.
I hear you, brother. No, thank you. Brian Burns is not on the level of Bosa, brother. You could add all the superlatives you want, brother. He is not on that level. I hear what you're saying, brother. But
if you don't got one player on that team that's better than Fred Warner, I don't want to hear shit.
The NFL, the Panthers don't believe. Nobody on earth believes that he's on that level besides you. Nah, but you're saying value to the team. I hear you, brother, but they not paying him 30 because they don't believe he worth that, brother. I hear you.
Q. So let's say hypothetically Panthers and the 49ers traded Burns for Bosa. Are you saying we'd be just as good and they'd be just as good if they swap players?
You talking about if we swap players?
Yeah.
It won't be too far off. I mean, Bosa's going to get more sacks because he's much more of a monster coming off the edge. But I'm saying you got to realistically know what you got. There are two different types of players. One guy, Brian Burns bends the edge like no other in the league. When he do, and he come around that side, he can also stop the run as well. He sets his edge. So if San Fran, you put him on San Fran right now, and I guarantee you he gets you at least 12 to 15 sacks again. Right now.
Bosa getting damn near 20.
I understand that, Leo, but you got to understand. You just asked me if I take him off this team, will the production still be there on an edge rusher? The production is going to be there. It's not going to be 20, 25 sacks. Ain't gonna be 22 sacks, but it'll still be good production.
There's a difference between 19 sacks and 12.5, brother. Big difference.
Okay, Leo. All I'm saying there's also a big difference when you got an all-pro at linebacker and you got other guys on this defensive line that are relatively great at their position. It's a lot easier.
Nah, brother. Fred
Y'all
Warner ain't got
discrediting them,
Fred
boy.
Warner don't have no impact on the pass rush, brother. He don't rush the passer.
Bro,
Nah, he don't rush the passer, but he's a run stopper.
Into the quarterback.
But I hear you, brother. The value to the team. I hear you. The value to the team. I got you, brother.
You talking about Frankie Louisville who got juke out of his fucking cleats last week?
No, but I simply getting to the quarter. I getting sacks. Louisville's better than Warner.
Oh man,
I'm not
come
coverage.
on.
I'm saying I get into
Come on, brother.
Yeah,
You're talking about two different positions, though. One is an outside linebacker that specializes in that. Fred Warner is a middle linebacker that specializes in stopping the run. Come on, bro. Stop that shit.
But that's cute. Why are you comparing? Why you putting Warner in the
I
conversation?
said there's not another. Think about it. On the team with the San Francisco 49ers, we don't have that type of talent on our team that they have. Fred Warner's a fucking all-pro. We don't have an all-pro. Name me one all-pro guy on this team.
Not even the dude you caping for. He ain't an all-pro.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to tell you is he got better fucking talent around him. Y'all not listening.
Yeah,
all-pro means all-pro at the position. Your boy made the Pro Bowl on a humbug year before last, and last year he made it. Boasting them, I mean,
you talking about the best linebacker in the league, though. Y'all don't understand.
I'm talking about Burns. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about Burns.
So check this out. Check this out. When we had Luke Kuechly and a Thomas Davis, this defense was elite. And what I'm saying is it didn't kind of fucking matter who the hell we had at edge rusher, whether it was 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐤, whether it was who the fuck you want to put on the edge? Who you want to put on the edge? Name somebody. Pull a bitch off the street. It didn't fucking matter. They got to the quarterback because them two other motherfuckers was hell.
I hear you on the impact of the team, the value of the team. I got you, brother.
I get it, y'all. I got you.
But I hear you, brother. As far as the value to the team, I understand your position 100%. I understand.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all today, man. Look, this has just been a little Saturday recap, man. I appreciate all y'all for being in the building. Lord have mercy.
Thank you, brother. The whole party.
Wally, J-Issue, what y'all got, man? Y'all there? Well, anyway, from what we're going to do here, make sure y'all like the video, share and subscribe. We're coming back again tonight. We have the NFC South Roundtable right here on Black Cat tonight. We're going to have your favorite Bucks podcaster in the building, your Falcons podcaster in the building. Look, you don't want to miss it. We're going to have as well. The Saints will be in the building tonight too. Keeping it real, Dolph will definitely be holding it down. So y'all don't want to miss it tonight, man. It's going to be a good one. Let me get the last words from let's see. Scott Fitterer, talk to me.
Hey, what y'all want me to say?
Oh, nothing. Just summarize how you feel about the convo we had today.
I think it was a good convo. Yeah. I always love talking about the Panthers, so good convo, I guess.
Yes, sir. Well, anytime you're in the area, Bubba, always feel free to pull up, man. I like to have little juicy convos like that today.
Now, there's another one of the Panthers Uncensored. You know that guy?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, I went to that one. That motherfucker was rude, man. I had a much better time here.
Yeah, man. Don't mistake the passion. We like to have good topics and we like to talk good football over here.
I had a better time here, brother.
Yes, sir. So anytime you're in the building, man, you're more than welcome. Please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel if you're watching this. G-Issue, Wally, what y'all got for me? Guess they're not here. Well, This has been your boy Q from the Black Cat Panther podcast, and we're gonna be right back at y'all tonight with the NFC South Roundtable. You don't want to miss it, so pull on up. Thank you too for coming on, Scott Federer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.